I built a life-sized library in Minecraft. So we all know about many book-related things in Minecraft. The enchantment table, the book itself, bookcases, and many more. So it would make sense that there's also a library in Minecraft. I'm also giving myself a 1-hour time limit on this, so that'll raise the stakes kind of a lot. And I really think that's all there is to mention, so let's get right into it. Alright, I have found a pretty decent patch of land here, so I think here I can build my Minecraft library. Now, obviously, first I gotta find what blocks I'm gonna use. So I kind of want to make it out of wood, and I feel like the best fitting one would be dark oak planks. That is what we are going to use for a majority of the walls. There is a bunch of flowers and grass blades here, which is inconvenient to say the least, but we can look past those, alright? I'm gonna choose this spot, so let's get cracking. And we just close it up, and we already made the general border of the library. This is already going pretty good, but obviously there is much more that we gotta do. I kind of want to have this library have like a futuristic house design, if you know what I'm talking about, where there's like, I don't know how to describe it, but once you see how the library looks, you'll know what I mean. We're gonna just collect some blocks here and there that I'll be using. There's glass panes so you can see in and out. I'm going to use crimson planks for the roof and kind of part of the futuristic house design that I'm talking about. I'm going to use some spruce planks as the floor, also more blocks, but that'll be for later. I'm going to outline the door right here. I don't think that's perfectly centered, but it's all right. I'm going to make a double door system because I feel like that looks better. One block up, and then we're going to put some glass panes here. Look at that. I think that window system looks pretty cool. But we're going to add even more windows. Oh yeah. Except these are going to look a little bit different than the ones down there, and you'll see why. I feel like it would look better if these windows up here are a little bit longer than these down here, and they don't look very much longer. But I'm going to put a block here. And yeah, as you can see, the ones up there are a little bit longer, and I feel like that just looks better. So we're going to close this wall off right here, and that's about the height of the rest of the walls on this house. So let's go and do that. We're going to start, obviously, with the outside first, and then we'll work on the inside later. Yo, we are grooving already, geez. And don't forget, this video is actually timed for an hour, like I said in the intro, and we are already 5 minutes down and 55 left to go, and we are chilling right now. I'm also not using any tutorial for this. I'm just doing this off the top of my head. Whatever I think would look cool, I'm gonna improvise it and do it right here. We're already almost done with this wall over here. We just need to add a few more window panes, and then that is about it. Now, remember when I kept saying I would do a modern house design? What I mean by that is I'm gonna put some spruce logs, or spruce planks I think they're called. I always confuse these with warped planks because you get them around the same area. What I want to do is I want to have it like kind of roof there later, but I want to have this roof and the part at the bottom sticking out, kind of like a modern house system. Now you know what I'm talking about, right? At least you might. If you don't know what a modern house is, just look it up or something, and then you'll get what I'm saying. I feel like this design is just fitting for a library, so that's why I want to do it. Now we are filling in the roof. Might as well ask, do you guys like going to libraries? Do you go there to study, or do you go there to find books, or do you go there to find books for school assignments? Sometimes I like to go to my public library if I need a book for a school assignment that isn't at the school library. The school library is also pretty cool too. It's probably more popular than the actual public library, if I'm being honest, because you kind of have to use the school library a lot of the time. If you're doing like a research project or whatever, you're finding a book for class most of the time. But if a book's out, resort to the public library. I usually just go there to, like I said, find books for my classes, but you can also like play computer games there. I don't know if your guys' libraries have computers there, but mine does. And honestly, a lot of people just go to the library for those, which I get it. I don't really get the stereotype that libraries are like super quiet places where you can't talk at all. You can definitely talk in libraries. It's just a lot of the time people don't talk in them, but I get it. I mean, that would be pretty nice if libraries were quiet. I don't really know people who read in libraries. It's not a very good spot, probably because they're kind of loud. So I usually just read at home. I just go to libraries to find books. We're already almost done with the roof. Look at this. Just a few more planks and then we're already done with the roof. Oh yeah. And to finish off that modern house design that I keep bringing up, we're going to add some more what are they called? Crimson planks. I almost called them spruce planks for some reason, even though this is definitely not spruce. We're just going to add some outside this wall, and it's looking pretty snazzy. I feel like putting these blocks at the bottom definitely makes it look better. I mean, come on, look at that. You can't lie. That looks pretty cool. And already, it seems like we are done with the outside, so I'm going to add some floor right here out of, is this jungle or spruce? Spruce, yeah. Spruce and jungle planks look like the exact same. And we're just going to make a little path out here. I kind of hope you don't use this path because it kind of just falls right into that cave, so yeah, don't use it. But it does build up the library as being this super cool spot, so I like that. A thing this library reminded me of is bookstores. Do you guys like going to bookstores? The one I usually go to is, like most people, Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble has some cool stuff there. They got books, obviously, and all that stuff. People say bookstores are dying, but when I go to Barnes & Noble, a bunch of people are always there, so I don't really know about that. Some people just go to Barnes & Noble for the Starbucks inside it, though. I don't know if your guys' Barnes & Nobles have Starbuckses in them, but mine does. Like, every Barnes & Noble I've gone to does. A lot of people just go there and just, like, do their work and stuff, which it's a pretty cool spot, and it smells pretty good because the coffee smell, but I don't know, I wouldn't, like, do work there or anything. But yeah, some of the stuff at Barnes & Noble is just, like, so random that it's, like, cool to get, like, the toys they have there, which, I mean, I know if you guys don't like reading, then you would definitely dig those. And I can't blame you. They are just so random that you're just drawn to them. And also, something they have that's super underrated is their vinyls, which is basically, like, a super old way to listen to music if you didn't know. It's, like, discs, these big discs that are almost like a feet in circumference, and they spin around on a record player. Some people like them if they really like records because they're like physical and cool and all, and unlike streaming, they can never really go away unless you break them. Vinyls are kind of expensive though, so that's kind of the issue with collecting them. But Barnes & Noble has so many of them, it's insane. I think I have like 4 straight vinyls just from it. So if you're vinyl collecting and you don't already go to Barnes & Noble to get your vinyls, then I strongly recommend you do it. They're kind of expensive, but all vinyls kind of are, so that's not really saying much. It's pretty dark in here, even with the windows, but we'll light it up later, don't worry. Do you guys enjoy reading? I guess I don't really know. Some people don't, which I get it, because reading is kind of hard to focus on because there's so many distractions that can distract you, and you have to like actually focus on what's going on in the book, but it does make you smarter. I will say it does make you smarter. I do remember, though, my school had this thing called Accelerated Reader, aka AR. Your school might have had it too, where basically you take quizzes worth like 10, 20, and even 5 questions on books you read. And remember, I got like 160 AR points in 1 year, like 3 different times. It was insane. I don't know how I did that. If you have the AR system, you would know how many AR points that really is. That's kind of a lot. It's hard to put into perspective how much it is. But for example, Diary of a Wimpy Kid books are like 3 points, I think. So yeah, 160 points is kind of a lot, and you lose points if you miss questions. So they were pretty stressful tests, and I don't recommend you get 160 points unless you really like reading. I do remember sometimes I would skip out on doing stuff with friends just so I could read, and I don't recommend you do that unless you really want to for some reason. But yeah, I mean, the party for it was pretty cool. We got a party and I liked that. Anyway, let's go back to building the library. I know it looks pretty boring right now, but don't worry, we'll liven it up a lot later. We're just getting started, baby. Okay, maybe not, but we're just getting started on building it up for the cool stuff on the inside. Are you guys enjoying this video so far? If you are, like and subscribe, because this video took me a while to make, and I would appreciate it if you guys gave me some support, man. I just remembered you could also buy like DVDs and stuff from the library, or not buy, but you can rent them. I feel like a bunch of people do that to actually get like DVDs and stuff, and also CDs, I guess, but not that many people do that either. Probably even less people do that, actually. So if you do that, that's pretty cool. I would rather just buy books personally than go to the library to get them. But if I'm going to read a book one time ever, then the library is a good option. It's kind of like streaming versus using DVDs. I do like using DVDs because they're forever and they're not like streaming where it could go away any second. DVDs just last forever, and they're not even that expensive either. As long as you don't break them, you can just watch whatever you want forever. Not really any extra fees you have to pay, so that's really cool. The same is kind of with buying books versus the library. We're about to finish this flooring. Look at that. wow, we're already done. I think next we definitely need to add some lighting in here. Oh my gosh, it is dark. I could go two ways. I could do torches or lanterns. I'm going to go lanterns for now. I might use torches later, but I think lanterns look a lot better because torches look so unprofessional in Minecraft. I'm sorry. Or at least when I use them. Maybe you guys make them look good. I don't know. And wow, this is already looking so much better. It kind of looks nighttimey almost, which is kind of ironic because it's more lighted than before, but I just feel like I see a bunch of lanterns during nighttime. I'm also going to add some lanterns outside here if you haven't already seen. That'll make it look cool from the outside too, even though you can see the lanterns from inside there from the window, but you know what I mean. And when I'm adding stuff in the inside of the library, I have a little bit of a surprise to show you guys that you probably wouldn't think I would add, but I will. It's not anything too crazy, but it is something pretty interesting that I think you guys will think is a pretty cool addition to the library, so stay tuned for that. And if you've enjoyed this video so far, I have a lot of other videos just like this, so check out my other videos, you know. They're also cool too. I have more videos than just this one. Gotta fix up my hat a little, my bad. Do you guys like this Buc-ee's hat? I think it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty chill, and that's why I like wearing it. Kind of the elephant in the room of this house right now is that there's no door, so I'm gonna go try to find one. There are a lot of doors I can pick from. Now, two obvious doors I can go with here are the dark oak door and the crimson door. What's this one? Mangrove door. I kind of don't want to go with those though. I'm kind of digging this jungle door, so I think I'm gonna use that one. All right, so we got a door, and we can finally really work on the inside. I might add some torches later. I did add some lanterns, but torches, they might get in here too. Here we go, the main part of the library, the bookshelf or bookcase, kind of the same thing. A lot of these are going to be added, obviously, because it's a library. So let's get to work on that. I will have them be like double rowed. I don't know what to say, but there's going to be two of these instead of just one. I know that bookshelves for some reason appear at there's books. I don't know how to say it. I'm just going to show you guys. So on each side, there are books on all four sides. So technically, I only have to add one layer of these, but I'm going to add two because why not? The more, the better. And also, I think it just looks better if there's more. Now, should I stop here or go one higher? I did think about building them to the ceiling, but first off, the lanterns would not allow me to do that. And second, I feel like that would look kind of weird. It would just look more like a store than a library. I'm gonna place these every 2 blocks like this. I think that's a good system, and we got 4 rows going on. I think that's pretty good. It's actually even on both sides because the other side also had it like this where it was 2 away from the well, I didn't even plan it out like that. That was a crazy coincidence. You guys can also follow along with me at home. I'm sorry if this isn't the best tutorial ever to do this. I don't know, maybe if this video gets enough engagement, I will do a tutorial on how to build this library. You never know. This is coming together well so far though, I gotta say. I'm liking this library so far, and I'm not using any reference for this. The only reference I used was a thought of a modern house in the back of my brain, and that was about it. Oh yeah, we're building a library in Minecraft, and we're on the last row of the bookshelves. Okay, so we're going to add some bookshelves, and this is pretty satisfying what I'm doing right now. At least I hope it is. Hopefully it doesn't sound like really bad. It sounds pretty relaxing because I'm right by the mic. Add a little bookshelf right there. We're gonna add some right here. Okay, I'm sorry for that. That part at the end probably was kind of loud. But anyway, we're going to put some right here, and there we are. We are done with the bookcase. Now, there's more stuff at the library than just bookcases or bookshelves. Oh my gosh. This is getting confusing. That's what's going on. Now, like I said, there's like DVDs, which I can't really add here. There is music stuff, maybe even. So you know what that calls for? A jukebox. Oh yeah. Now, I do have my sound off, so I'm not going to put a disc in, but we got a jukebox right there. Might as well also put a crafting table there. I mean, just why not? Chiseled bookshelf. I don't know what that is. I was just looking in the inventory and I found that. I might as well also put a crafting table and a furnace. Sure, They're also pretty cool, even though they're not really related to a library. Maybe the furnaces, but not really the crafting table. I also found these lectern things, which I think they're for like lectures based off the name. I don't really know if I'm being honest, but they could also work as a book stand. They look like a book stand to me, so sure, let's use them. Now, something else in libraries is also chairs. There are no chairs in Minecraft, but I do need to think of something. I could think of a bed, because a bed you lay in, just like you sit in a chair, but what else looks like a chair in Minecraft? Oh, stairs look like chairs in Minecraft, kind of. So let's go find one of those. Which shade should I use? I don't want to use dark oak or crimson for the millionth time. I don't really want to use jungle. I'm probably going to use these acacia stairs. Sure. Where do you find acacia wood from? I don't really know. Pretty interesting. Put one here. I got to put two there so it's centered. And we're going to put three there because why not? They kind of just look like stairs instead of chairs. I did not know those rhymed. Jeez. Wow. So that's all right. Let's look at these bookshelves, though. Wow. Okay, so I screwed up a little bit. I didn't plan it out like this, but I accidentally made this 1 wide instead of 2 wide. My bad. So I guess these aren't as even as I thought they were earlier. And that's just like really sad, man. And the worst part might be that I took bookshelves out of my inventory. So sadly, these do have to be 1 away from the wall, but that's all right. Do not really like that if I go high up like this, I do get stuck on the lanterns. I feel like the lanterns should be like go through or transparent or something like that. Something along those lines. Should I add something over here? I feel like it's kind of empty over here. I could add paintings. That's a good idea. I mean, that's not a physical object. I mean, it is, but it's not like, you know what I mean. It's wall decorations. That's what I'm meaning. Okay, so there's paintings, item frames, and then glow item. What is a glow item frame? I don't know what that is. But anyway, here's the paintings that I'm looking for. I thought all those looked kind of the same, so that's why I pointed that out. Luckily, these paintings are not going over the windows, which is one of the biggest issues about paintings in this game. They love to go over windows, and it's kind of annoying. If I put one here, yeah, it goes over the window. And also, you notice how that was the same painting that I just put down? That's another issue with paintings in this game. There are like none, and they get reused very often, especially if they're the same size. So Minecraft, can you fix that, please? I'm very surprised none have gone over the windows yet, but that's probably because they're all the same size, and I'm putting them in the same spot, basically. I want to see if one can fit there. No. Come on. Why does it keep having these huge paintings? It's going over the door, too. Like, come on. Oh, don't forget about these walls, too. Can't forget them. Oh, come on. That's the same painting twice in a row. I want to put a chair there, but then it's going to block my way, and I don't want to do that. I know I did this earlier, but look at these bookshelves, bro. They look so cool if you're going through them. So nice and all that stuff. Oh, remember when I said I would give you guys a little bit of a surprise near the end of this video? I don't know if I said it was near the end, but here's that surprise right now if I can find it. It's not really that crazy, but it's an enchantment table. I mean, it is book related. There is a book in an enchantment table, so I feel like it's fitting to put one right there. How cool is that? Now, sadly, I'm in creative, so it's not very useful. Sorry for that, but it's still a cool thing to have. Oh, it's raining. That's so scary. I did have one other idea. I don't really want to put flowers outside the library, but I also don't want there to be like nothing outside there. So I thought about, okay, well, Minecraft doesn't have bushes, but you know what's the next best thing? Tree leaves. And I'm gonna use some oak leaves outside here as a sort of bush. Some bushes here, some bushes there, and a few right here, and boom, we're already done with those. What else can I really add? I feel like that door's not centered, but I don't think there's much I can do about that. Let's take another look in here. Got the book stands, which are actually the lectors, but we're not going to talk about that. Look at all these paintings. I think they're so cool, even though, like I said, they're reused pretty often, but I can't really do much about that. I do like this area. It's pretty chill. Sadly, no computers in Minecraft either, so I can't put those. Who knows, maybe in the next update they'll put some. Maybe they'll also put DVDs in Minecraft, but they do have music discs, so I guess that's the next best thing. I haven't showed the clock much in this video, but I'm doing really good on time. I still got like 25 minutes left on the clock. This took a lot less time than I was expecting, honestly. I kind of already had an idea in my head of what to do. So I guess we can take another look at it from here. Look at that. I love that roof. I like the modern design like I keep talking about. The lanterns are cool. The bushes are nice. The doors are snazzy. And the bookshelves, pretty bookshelvy. Okay, that's not a good way to say it, but they look pretty tall, even though they're only 4 blocks tall. The paintings make the walls look not as boring. Sadly, I can't put them in between the windows. At least I don't think I can. Oh, I don't have it in my inventory. Let's check it just in case, because why not? Because I don't really have anything much else to do anyway. I bet you this is going to go over the window, though. Yeah. Minecraft, please patch this. I know they said they should add computers in the next update, but they should definitely fix this in the next update and make more paintings too. Anyway, this is looking pretty nice, so I don't think I have much else to do. So with that, thank you guys so much for watching. I know that wasn't super long, but I kind of already had an idea of what to do. So we were kind of just chilling that whole video. I hope you guys found this a relaxing time and all that. I hope you guys could take a nice little chill pill for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, then you'll enjoy a lot of my other videos, and I even have a lot more building videos in Minecraft. And if you don't like those, then I got some challenge videos and other stuff like that. So with that, like and subscribe if you guys want to. I'm not forcing you, and I will see you guys next time.